Today's incident will wake up your soul. Please watch the incident till the end. Today we are going to tell you the story of a couple who went to perform Hajj at Kaaba and became animals there. What did they do in the house of Allah that they got such a painful punishment that the people present there were forced to say, Astaghfirullah? Your soul will also tremble after listening to this incident. That is why all of you are requested to listen to this incident in full and learn a lesson. There was a religious family in an area of India in which parents and their son lived. The parents were very pious and pious people. The father, who was the imam, it was a mosque because for some days the imam of the mosque was telling people about the performance of Hajj, so he used to come home only after the Isha prayer. His wife was also strict about the prayer. The whole neighborhood used to call him by the name of AAPG, and he used to tell people about the performance of Hajj and the people of the neighborhood. Children also used to learn religion from them. Both husband and wife started their life after Hajj only because they used to say that as soon as they got married, their family members had said that they should go for Hajj. Their whole family was very pious and religious. Whenever they used to marry any of their children, they used to make him visit Kaaba first. This had become a custom of their family. Now their son had also become young and handsome, but was very free-thinking. He used to offer namaz sometimes on his parents' orders, but he was not pious and pious like them. He used to roam around with his friends all day. He was neither handling any of his father's business nor doing anything else. Although his parents had brought him up very well. In childhood, he used to read namaz and Quran and pray to Allah. As he grew up, he started associating with bad friends, and slowly he left all the habits of childhood. He did not follow the namaz, read the Quran, and started coming home late at night. Due to his antics, his parents were very much worried. One day, a woman from the neighborhood came to their house and was hesitatingly looking here and there. When his mother asked the woman for tea, she said, "Your Majesty, I have not come here to eat or drink anything, but I want to tell you something. I wanted to tell you something about your son." She was unable to say anything even though she wanted to because the entire area knew that this family was very religious and pious. Their entire family is very pious and pious. That is why the woman was hesitating to say anything. Then the mother of this boy said, "Sister, whatever you want to say, please tell me without hesitation." Then the woman mustered up courage and said, "I want to tell you something about your son." On hearing the name of the son, the woman immediately started looking at the woman and said, "What are you trying to say? Has my son said anything to you?" The woman said, "I have nothing to say. I did not say anything, but he does some strange things with his friends. Look you, I know that your son is very pious and your family starts their life by performing Hajj and visiting Kaaba. But this boy's friends are not good. He troubles some people in the area with them." You said, "Sister, what trouble has he done?" The woman said that for a long time, he, along with his friends, threw stones at the houses of those girls who had grown-up children. Sometimes he talks to these girls while they are coming and going, and today he crossed all limits. A girl was going to her Jamia. He pulled her chador. Then this girl also slapped your son on his face. You please tell your son not to hang around with such bad friends. Saying this, the woman left and she sat silently looking at the door. After Maghrib's prayers, when her husband came home and started eating dinner, his wife said, "Look, our son has grown up now. We don't need him. They should get married. You know that he does not pray 5 times a day like you. I want you to find a good match and get him married to a suitable person so that he can visit the Kaaba immediately after the marriage. Hajj is also near. He should do Hajj this year as well. I hope that he will also end his relationship with his bad friends. Then it will be his responsibility to look after his house." Imam Sahib agreed with his wife and said, "Okay, I'm busy right now. You look for a good match." Then you called a relative and said, "Arrange a match for my son from a place where the girl is very beautiful and religious and knows the teachings of the Holy Quran. I will pay the amount you say, but the match should be good." The relative took money for the match and somehow got the match done. It is said that couples are made in heaven. As is the husband, so is the wife. Now you said they got married and both husband and wife were very happy. The boy's parents wanted to start a new life for both of them. They had to send them for Hajj. But their son and daughter-in-law were so unlucky that they did not want to go to the place where the whole world wanted to go. Their daughter-in-law thought that if we had to be sent somewhere, then send us to such a place. America, London, Dubai. We still have our whole life ahead to go to Kaaba. We can go later too, Astaghfirullah. But their son knew everything, that it is our family's custom that after marriage we have to visit Kaaba. After a few days of marriage, when their mother went to their room smiling with 2 tickets and said, "Son, you both are very lucky. Allah has given you the privilege of performing Hajj. When we got married, we were the first to attain martyrdom, and you people are also attaining martyrdom. Otherwise, most of our family members have to go to Hajj first. Umrah had to be performed. Now you people should make your preparations." Both the husband and wife had reached the airport with their luggage in a very tired state. All the pilgrims who boarded the plane were chanting the name of Allah. Some were holding rosaries. Most of the people had rosaries in their hands, and some had the Holy Quran in their hands. Both the husband and wife were talking loudly. Everyone on the flight was going for Hajj. This was a flight of pilgrims. Both of them were laughing and laughing. Sometimes they were doing weird things. Everyone was looking at them with strange eyes, but both of them were engrossed in themselves. They did not care for anyone. When they reached the hotel from there, even there, everyone was very annoyed with them. People were saying that these actions and talks of both the husband and wife were very strange. They would talk in their room, but their voices would echo in other people's rooms. That is why all the people of the hotel were not happy with these 2 husband and wife. People here were saying that both these husbands and wives were very rude and ill-mannered. His wife was wearing a veil, but even under the veil she looked uncovered. It was as if she was not veiled. She was wearing such clothes that it did not look like she had come for Hajj. The burqa she was wearing was so tight that the skin of this girl was visible. As nowadays many women in our country have made veiling a fashion, they also wear such a veil that it does not look like a veil. This girl was also wearing an abaya as a fashion. Every man here would turn around and look at these husband and wife, because both of them had crossed all limits of fashion as well as shamelessness. From the hotel to the inside of the Haram Sharif, both of them were talking in such a way that it seemed like they were doing it in solitude. Everyone there was watching them. They were getting very upset. In a way, this husband and wife were disturbing the prayers of these people. Both of them were talking loudly to each other, laughing and joking. Both of them were doing strange types of mischief. Inside the Haram Sharif, the girl's cry echoed so loudly that people could hardly control themselves. They turned around to look at the husband and wife. Both of them did not have any modesty left at that time. The Kaaba was in front of them. Despite this, they were doing such acts. They did not have any respect or reverence for this holy place in their hearts. They did not care about anything. They were doing such acts in the Kaaba as if they had come for a stroll. They were doing the same acts not only in the hotel, but also in the Haram Sharif. Once, the convoy with which they had come also tried to explain to them that if people are going on Hajj for the first time, if you have come here, then you should know the culture and respect of this place. After all, you are Muslims. It is incumbent on all of us to respect the Haram Sharif. Both of you are laughing and talking as if you have come for a stroll. The words of this person were burning these husband and wife to such an extent that just like fire burns wood, both of them started misbehaving with this person, and this boy started quarreling. He grabbed the collar of the person who was explaining and said, "After all, who are you? Who are you to become our father? We asked you for advice. We said that you should advise us. We consider what is good or bad for us. First, look at yourself. You are not the imam of any mosque. Go and get your sins forgiven first and then keep an eye on others. You should get away from here." This husband and wife used to make everyone quiet by talking like this. After this person left, both of them started laughing with their hands folded. Now many people started complaining about their antics. Used to remain silent here because of this. On coming here, they neither prayed nor were they interested in any kind of worship or pilgrimage. Their family members had forcibly sent them here, and the people around them were getting annoyed with them. Then an incident happened with both of them which changed their lives. They had never even imagined that something like this could happen to them. These husbands and wives knew only wealth as everything. They thought that if there is wealth, then we can buy everything. Then what happened to them made everyone scream. Then one day it so happened that the weather was very pleasant. The pilgrims left for Tawaf early in the morning because the pilgrims wanted that today the weather is very beautiful, so we should do as many pilgrimages as possible. Both of them were coming towards Haram Sharif, walking from the hotel early in the morning. They were saying to each other that today we would go for the last time. We will go to Haram Sharif, and the rest of the days we will go out for sightseeing. The girl started telling her husband that your family is very strange. Immediately after the marriage, you forcibly sent us here. Her husband said that I was just following the customs of my family. Otherwise, I also did not want to come here. Astaghfirullah, today is a very beautiful day. After this, we both will go somewhere else from here. It is a matter of regret. There was no fondness for the house of Allah in the hearts of these two. There was no love. So many people are yearning for this thing that they are deprived of it. Both of them were talking on the way. There was a little distance left to reach Haram Sharif. On the way, both of them saw many beggars begging, among whom there were many children, old people and women. Two children came to this couple and started spreading their hands and said, "Please give us some money to eat. We have been hungry since morning. We did not eat anything." The husband and wife went ahead making the children smoke. Then they must have gone a little ahead when they saw an old beggar who had dragged himself to them with great difficulty because both the legs of this beggar were cut off. He was deprived of both his legs and one of his arms was also cut off. He had dragged himself to them with the help of one arm and started saying, "Give me some charity." Both of them were engrossed in talking among themselves as if they did not see the beggar. Then this beggar dragged himself to the mosque, caught hold of their feet and started saying, "Give me some charity." As soon as this boy came to know that the beggar had put his hand on his shoe, he caught hold of the beggar's hand, forcefully shook it off, and started hitting the beggar with his foot. He started hitting the beggar on the chest, stomach and face with his foot as much as he could, and started saying, "You dirty man, you have done this. You have made my clothes dirty. How dare you touch me? You have made my shoes dirty. Get up, old beggar, handicapped, clean my shoes." Then he placed his shoe on his face and the other foot on his arm and said, "Clean it with your tongue." What could that poor beggar do? Tears flowed from his eyes out of grief. Firstly, his legs were not complete. He had one arm left. On top of that, this bastard had placed one of his shoes and he was shouting that he would cut off your one hand, which is left. After all, what could that poor beggar do except shed tears when this boy? He pounced on him to his heart's content. His wife started saying, "Let's go. This handicapped person is not capable of anything. These are extremely low-grade people." A lot of people had gathered around them. They wanted to stop them, but seeing their rudeness, everyone backed off. Seeing the people, he started abusing them too. The boy was about to enter the Haram Sharif in anger and abuse. As soon as he reached the door of the Haram Sharif, he suddenly started screaming in pain, and as soon as he stepped inside the Haram Sharif, his hands and legs started twisting. He was screaming in pain. People were listening to the screams of this boy. His wife held his hand and asked him what was happening to him, but he could not tell. He was screaming in pain, and then in no time, he fell on the floor, writhing in pain. His face changed in no time. He had turned into a strange animal. His legs had also twisted. He was not able to get up and walk. Seeing his condition, his wife also suddenly fell near him. She wanted to speak, but it seemed as if her tongue had stopped. She wanted to go to her husband crying, but the next moment she woke up. Her hands and legs were twisted. She was walking as if a four-legged animal was walking. There was no strength in her body. Both of them were lying inside the Haram Sharif like animals. The boy had become a complete animal, and his wife was half human and half animal. The whole body of this boy had become white. No one knew in which language the husband and wife were talking. No one was able to understand anything. The people there quickly called the Qadmin. The Qadmin picked them up and took them to the hospital. Seeing them, the people present there started praying for repentance and started fearing Allah. No one knew what happened to these two together. The people of the caravan who had come with them were saying that Allah's punishment had descended on them. After a few hours, Both the husband and wife became a sign of lesson, and then just like that, both the husband and wife died in agony. All the people of Mecca were coming to see them. People from far and wide were coming to see them. People were repenting and praying for astaghfar. Everyone would ask the people who had come with them as to what happened to them. Their reality was revealed in front of everyone, how these people used to misbehave with people and how they oppressed a helpless fakir. When Allah comes to pull the rope of his servant, he does not waste even a moment. This news had spread like fire among all the pilgrims and in the whole of Makkah, and people would touch their ears on seeing them and would pray for astaghfar. Nazreen, did you see what Allah does to the oppressor? Considering someone less than him and saying that he cannot do anything, but Allah can do it. Man is helpless and compelled, but Allah's people are not helpless and not compelled. They are watching everything. The second thing is that Allah Ta'ala does Hajj in the destiny of some, and the one who has it in his destiny to do Hajj is very lucky, because the person who understands this. If someone thinks that he will go to Kaaba and do Hajj, then this is his mistake. And whoever thinks that if I have money, I will do Hajj, then this is also his big mistake, because if Allah wishes, then he calls even the poorest of the poor to him and makes them do Hajj. And if he does not wish, then even the richest of the rich goes to Kaaba and remains deprived of the blessing of Hajj. A person can go there only when he is called, and it is a prayer to Allah that Allah accepts the Hajj of all the Hajjis. Please accept their prayers, and O Allah, may you also grant us the opportunity to do Hajj and visit your house and visit the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam daily and attain martyrdom. Ameen, O Rabbul Alameen.